And right, this is it. The end of 3 seasons, with all sorts of, journeys, trials, and tribulation, with Cassandra now in control of Corona, and, Rapunzel and the others having to get it back and hopefully defeat Zhan Tiri. So, will it be worth the journey of 3 seasons? Let's find out. Start before the usual opening in 3, 2, 1, click.
We talk about Kingdom Hearts, but a revisit to the Kingdom of Corona with the story climaxes of the series would
I mean, Kingdom
totally
Hearts 2
fly.
did adapt Return of Jafar, technically, even if it was a
Yeah.
bit of a clumsy, abridged version of that. I would be afraid if we would do something similar to what they did to Pirates of the Caribbean, where they just sum up most of stuff that happened like in Season 2, and Sora arrives just as the events of Season 3 are happening.
Although, I guess to Kingdom Hearts 3's credit, it did at least let us fight the Kraken.
Yeah. It's actually one of the few times in 3 where you actually fight a Disney villain.
Yeah.
Alright, starts out with a recap.
It's kind of lucky that the Moonstone doesn't also grow out your hair, otherwise Cassandra would have to get used to fighting with long hair.
I do wonder if they considered at one point to make a version of Cassandra that had longer hair to match Raps, but I wonder.
Possible.
Okay.
Yes, Shorty is indeed a monster, but he's not the monster we're fighting against. While it is obvious Zhan Tiri is up to something, I do feel like the intro gives away the game a little bit too much that, yes, obviously Zhan Tiri is just playing Cassandra to get what she wants.
I mean, by this point of the series, Drova, the events that have transpired so far, so, even stating the obvious is part of the course.
I'm going to hit you with my clue stick.
Eh.
Also, just a passive mention of Beyond character. Like I said, I kind of wish we had one more episode with her, but alas.
Probably one of the ones that had to be left on the cutting room floor because Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we got a kingdom to save.
Also, parallel to the first episode. Get it?
With the wind in all your hairs.
Bye, Randall Wolf.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
It looked a bit scrawny, so I wonder if it was a bit of a throwback to Sword in the Stone, maybe.
No, if it was a throwback to Sword of the Stone, they would have been better than the Wolf go.
It'd be funny is if they, honestly, it would actually be totally okay to have Merlin cameo, just say he's time traveling at that point.
Um,
Oh, come on, like you were doing any better. Dad, you're not supposed to say that part out loud. Ah!
I mean, to be fair, she's not wrong.
I like how Varian's like, yeah, I was the bad guy of the first season. We're chill now.
There's a difference between takeover with science and crooks and, an interdimensional demon trying to, destroy everything.
I'm guessing that's probably why he doesn't take offense.
It's kind of like comparing the Royal Flush Gang to Darkseid.
Well, remember, even compared to when he was first introduced in season one, literally, remember, he was introduced in episode 1 of season 1. Even compared to that episode, he's a far happier person now than even he was even back then, because now because now he has a much better relationship with his father.
Interestingly enough, there's an interesting contrast between this song and the song Ready As I'll Ever Be, where, ironically, Ready As I'll Ever Be was incredibly foreboding, whereas this one feels more upbeat and hopeful, despite the fact that the stakes are far bigger than in that, which I think does actually add a neat detail here. The fact that, in spite of it being the toughest challenge whatsoever,
it's also clearly meant to be a mirror to the song from the movie.
In general, also, it serves to as the, cheer up song for the sake of, preparing for the battle.
Mm-hmm. It's meant to be a mirror to I've Got a Dream, Jova. Clearly. Remember, Rapunzel even puts herself on top of a table just like she does in I've Got a Dream, so.
Yeah, I'm sure it doesn't mean anything. God damn it, Eugene.
Eugene, maybe you should
look into that. This won't cause any problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
Shorty, what the fuck?
Don't worry, Shorty's helping in his own way too. He's helping.
Whatever it is he's holding, I don't think it's worth fighting with the crow.
Tio, you need to give up asking this question because
Teo.
he's just gonna do Shorty things.
Aha, Teo, joke's on you because that thing happens to be the one MacGuffin that saves us all.
Yeah, knowing Detroit would probably be that.
Oh no.
Wow, a Star Wars and an Indiana Jones reference in the span of less than a minute.
Beautiful. Harrison Ford would be so proud.
Just quote below and you'll have the Lucasfilm, Trinity complete, I guess.
Well, around this time, Disney already owned Lucasfilm, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Beauty and the Beast reference.
Be careful, Kat. You're becoming Tommy Wiseau with this.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
Then why even say we're almost there?
To give them hope, I don't know.
Bummer.
Well, even if we save Corona, its tourism's going to take a massive hit.
Also, Max just channeled his inner Skyrim steed moment. We're going like that. I mean, it's still a bit odd that when the mind-controlling stone was used, it did not immediately, responded to that. So I can understand a bit why Varian would not, believe Eugene immediately, because it is a bit of an oddity.
Damn you, Azran! It's a puzzle.
I mean, not everything has to be the Azran's fault. There are other ancient civilizations.
I wouldn't say they were the Azrans, but they were the Azrans.
But never forget, the Azrans nearly destroyed the world. They were that petty.
I mean, they're assholes, so.
Again, so an ancient civilization. Gotcha.
There you go. How many Picards do we have?
50? Wow.
But lo and behold, what happens is, after that, in order to open this door, they have to have a minimum of 70 puzzles solved, and they only have solved 15 so far. So go back and solve puzzles.
I remind me of the other quote from Gravity Falls, where Deeper is like, "Wow, this is worthless."
Less than worthless. Yeah, no, that is a legit terrible name, Raps. God. Then again, coming up with terrible nicknames is part of a loving couple's progress, I guess.
Oh my.
Monkeys.
That explains the state where we found the sage last time.
The Manitus.
The Manitus, yeah.
Yep, Lord Demanitus got busy, it seems. Huh. I get that it was behind a puzzle, but you'd think that this book would be even deeper in.
To be fair, Jova, considering... well, no, actually, you have a point. But to be fair, I think this location was kind of hard to reach to begin with.
Although not hard for the monkeys, assuming they come and go.
Well, no, I believe it's a case where this is their sanctuary and they live inside. That kind of explains why the Manitus became a monkey. It's just a case of transferring his consciousness into one of these things. Oh, god damn it.
Don't touch it.
Lance.
There's literally a picture.
Why do they leave Lance and Shorty alone at all?
Lance, there's literally a picture of a monkey on it. For God.
Oh no.
Okay. So it turns you into a monkey by switching your consciousness with a monkey.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Oh no.
Hey, at least
Eugene?
you still have opposable thumbs.
Eugene, get out of the way.
It's like that Red Dwarf episode where the cat kept messing around with the transmogrifier, and he turned Lister into a chicken and then a gerbil, I think.
God fucking damn it.
You have transformed free people into monkeys. That's
There
what
we
you
go.
were.
At least go what? No, okay. Yeah, let's just there you go.
So it wasn't magic that turned people into monkeys, but science.
Of course.
Has
Lads, go
science
home,
gone
you
too
drunk.
far?
So basically, what we need to build is one of the I forgot what they're the exact names. One of the Ghostbusters traps.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to be gracious and rule over it, but now you forced me to destroy it. I'm absolutely sane, by the way. It's just a laughter of confidence.
Kill them. I mean,
Incapacitated Van Leaves. Come on.
Cute.
Forgot if I asked before, but I wonder, has Bruce Campbell ever had a role with a mustache? One with a
Yes,
beard a couple
Spider-Man-
of times, but...
Spider-Man Free.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
true.
played the Mater D. It would be an absolute shame if for some reason I decided I wanted to kill my son, but I don't think that'll ever happen today.
Yeah, we have a good relationship now.
Mm-hmm. And nothing can stop us now.
You know, considering that supposedly the Zhan Tiri get sent in, do you think she hangs out with Bill Cipher occasionally?
You know what? That is actually possible.
What? Okay.
Something about that crow ain't right.
Also, see, now one of the other child manages to control their werewolf form just fine.
Yep, even in daylight. It's quiet. Too quiet. Well, this is going to be the easiest season finale whatsoever.
Absolutely.
The next two parts are just reconciliating and fixing the kingdom.
No, you got it all wrong. The eclipse was the mid-season. The final season has to be instead the day where the the comet comet arrives.
Yeah.
I mean, Rapunzel, you're facing somebody who has the voice of a woman from Coventry. You don't have a chance.
Oh, she has experience playing Wicked Witches.
Well, no, because her actress is from Coventry.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
So
that
Coventry-
unfortunately,
it-
most of us are not British. You kind of have to elaborate.
Is it common for women from Coventry to play evil villains?
It's the first one I've heard of, I will say.
Okay.
Maybe
I
we
was going to
should.
say, careful how you answer that, Dwibs. I'm not from there, but careful how you answer that.
So yeah, Varian actually took Eugene's
So-
words. Well,
Jesus, Varian, are you just opting to be Batman eventually? Oh my god, Rapunzel was a firebender all along. A solar
So
eclipse weakens her.
again, considering
Well, the-
writers from Outer Letter Bender were involved in this, I'm not really surprised.
So basically, there's much like in America, they have that joke. Oh, they're from Texas thing. You guys have the they're from Coventry thing.
Well, we have her there from insert town here.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Hmm.
She literally just Rafe hissed at her.
Well, we're doomed.
Hamlo is that cousin Diablo never likes to talk about.
Fuck.
God damn it!
You had one job.
And you did the exact opposite of that job.
Goodbye, Shorty.
And they died. The end.
Actually, that's literally the end of part 1.
So stay tuned for part 2 after the intermission. Alright, we're here for part 2. You know the business. Take us away, please.
3, 2, 1, click.
She did a pretty half-assed redecorating job.
Yeah. It's like you're trying to cosplay as Beast Castle.
Remember, like he said, that she did that by the way of Tommy Wiseau. Why, Rapunzel? Why?
Oh wow, she's singing. That makes her incredibly easy to sneak up on.
Oh, don't you see, Jova, this stuff happens... okay, was going to say that only happens in American production, but this is an American-made show, so...
Remember, Job, it's for the same reason that nobody attacks the Sailor Senshi when they're
Yeah,
transforming.
I was just about to say, to ask the question, I probably asked in the past, but was there ever an occasion where one of the Sailor Moon villains took advantage and interrupted the
Nope.
transformation sequence? Okay.
Yeah, that's against the rules. That's against
I
the
get
rules of
it, but
magical girl shows.
Sometimes the Super Sentai shows did play around a bit with that, the concept.
Mhm.
So yeah, apparently the eclipse makes so that the sun drop's power gets reduced while the moonstone increases.
You can absolutely trust me even though I've lied and tricked you.
It's a very important rule, too, that when a Sailor Senshi is transforming, the villains have to be polite and wait for the transformation to end. That's just how things work.
It's not that they're being polite, it's actually because they look like a flashbang. And they're just blind for like the whole 45 seconds that this thing's
also,
going.
see, this is what I meant when Cassandra done the previous episode. Anyway, this is also important. Zhan Tiri is ascension, for lack of a better term.
You know, she looks like an old Sailor Moon in this time when you think about it.
Also,
I want to talk about...
man, I don't think that kind of, plague was actually going to help. Yes, Pedro?
But it looks so cool!
Also, is it just me or does Zhan Tiri sound like she's voiced by Pat Carroll?
Well, appearance-wise, she looks more like Cruella de Vil. Also,
she does, but like...
but
you can tell the voice actress is going... But you can tell the voice actress is going for a Pat Carroll thing.
But yeah, I love how, again, even back then she was using the boomerang.
Also, it's cool that they got Timothy Dalton back for a few lines at least.
I mean, I don't think Timothy is doing all that much nowadays anyway, so...
So, basically, when you get down to it, if you really reduce it in its simplistic form, Zhan Tiri is a jilted lover.
Of course.
I must destroy Corona because he wouldn't roll with me. Why couldn't he just be evil like me? That's all I ask.
Ah, yes, it's not the Shadow Realm, it's the Lost Realm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, more recently, Timothy Dalton was in The Crown and the show called 1923.
Okay, things are about to get weird. Basically, the animators have taken this excuse to do bizarre shit, like in Weirdmageddon. I mean, also, what happened to Piglet? Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Bill Cipher definitely spent some time here.
Oh god, no, an alicorn, put that thing away, please.
No, an alicorn, you fool, you're going to cause so many internet debates.
I forgot, what was the year that Generation 4 ended?
Maybe 2020? Let me check. Oh, crud. Evil badgers, too.
Remember, those were his pets, so...
Okay. Gen 4 pretty much wrapped in 2019.
Okay.
God, a total 9 seasons long, basically.
Cassandra, why are you upside down? This is not Labyrinth.
Yeah. Huh, you petty as all hell. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Back in her old domain. I'll give her credit, that's quite a ways off. Oh yeah, Zhan Tiri's absolutely been outdone by you.
There's a lot of ticking clocks going on in this episode, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Where did you get a rhino from?
Remember, it was already having it by the time of season 2, so in the intermediate time, I guess.
I guess his kingdom must have gotten some from Africa and bred them.
Wow, some beast tamer you are. You couldn't train your rhino to actually jump off a cliff.
Do not eat those. And of course he's already nomming.
Oh. Oh no. Oh Jesus.
Yep, I think the animators have been on that substance.
The cocainum, as Schwarzenegger would put it. Yeah, sure. Let's put also some Junji Ito-esque people fusing their bodies together. Why not? For kids.
Also, muscular goat persona in the background.
I'm sure other people would be very happy. Uh,
That ain't good.
Ah,
That's right. I Looney Tunes my way out of that. How do
so
you
you're
like
telling
that?
me that if you did not have that, you could have not get out of that. Some eldritch warrior you are.
Theo, she's really good with that boomerang.
Uh-huh.
But sadly, she doesn't have it currently. Oh, how nice. Also, rule number 23, don't let your enemy keep talking like that, Raps.
Remember, Drova, D&D terms, the talking is a free action. Oh, that's a name, I guess.
He named his bearskin. To be fair, he was incredibly lonely all that time he was at that kingdom on his own.
The two horses are like humans.
Not to mention, there's no one left in the kingdom. Who's going to see that?
I know, right?
Okay, Kylo Ren. Yeah, you had to expect her to be also here. Yeah, I think also one of the consequences of this season, to be sure, is that Adira passes from having been kind of central to season 2 to having not really screen time until this finale, unfortunately.
I honestly find it weird that most of these guys didn't just become pseudo citizens of the Kingdom of Corona for the majority of season 3. Like, they're apparently close enough anyway.
Oh no. Okay, now I need to remember if Bruce Campbell ever played an actual straight villain. I think he did with all the roles they had over his time, but I can't remember, a big example on top of my head. Sorry.
I can't remember that. I do know originally the plans for the Raimi movies was to have it be revealed that
It was
all his
Mysterio,
cameos were actually
supposedly.
Mysterio.
Ow.
Well, that's dark.
I was just going to say, do you bleed?
Yeah.
Um. Priorities, Eugene.
Fair.
Why
That
couldn't you
was a-
have like backed away and then done that?
Come to think of it, why wasn't Maximus a party member in Kingdom Hearts 3?
Well, the party member in Corona was Eugene.
Well, Pedro, Kingdom Hearts 3 was the first Kingdom Hearts game to give you multiple party
Only
members in some of the
two.
worlds.
I guess you can make an argument that for post-story resolution, he could have taken Raps' place. Of course. Just like Eternal Jafari has to be on the tip of the edge.
Yep. With a red sky and everything.
The only thing that's missing is lava underneath. Because, yeah, who knew that apparently under Agrabah there was a current of lava?
I chalk that one up
Well-
to Jafar's magic.
Well, Eugene, if you hadn't wasted time monologuing it to smash the bloody thing.
Huh, that worked.
So you're telling me that the climax of 1,000 Words actually meant something? It was supposed to be like this. Okay.
You see, it's the power of love that breaks through all curses.
Yeah, we kind of need to move. Oh god. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Wish granted. Oh, they're sad to see them go, though. That kind of makes me wonder if those are also just inhabitants who've lost their minds.
Don't think about it. Wow, this
it
is
was
my
that easy.
What a shock!
This is my surprise face.
What a schmuck.
And by combining them, you will find the Cave of Wonders. It's kind of like the Scarab at the beginning. Oh no.
Oh god. She's got her own goat persona. Yeah, about that.
Yeah, apparently when it's Zhan Tiri in that form, she's voiced by Tara Fitzgerald.
They changed the
Cute.
VA for that.
And that brings us to the end of the second part.
So yeah, stay tuned for the epic conclusion in just a few. Alright, this is it. Zhan Tiri is at her absolute peak, and we have to find a way to, well, defeat her because the trapping plan has kind of gone wrong. So let's see if Raps actually manages to totally save the day. Take us away, Zhan, please.
Alright. Here goes. 3, 2, 1, click.
My god, the redness of the filter has increased exponentially.
Lady, you really need a hobby.
Yeah, see, her evil laugh, it really feels like she's channeling Pat Carroll.
So hey guys, if you ever wanted to see what normal color hair Rapunzel would be like with long hair, your prayers have been answered.
Also, we're operating a bit on Power Rangers logic by having the final season be about how the characters can deal with this without their powers, at least for a bit. As a kid, I did not really appreciate the series finale of Power Rangers Wild Force, but it's something that, it got better over
Wild
time.
Force.
Well, outside of our real life stuff, of course.
Why is the
Again?
goat also a weird tentacle monster?
Because Eldritch Abomination, Shiri. This is Disney trying to get away with Cthulhu-esque abominations, much like with Bill Cipher.
You see, guys, it's a goat instead of a squid, so it's perfectly fine and not satanical.
See, even Rob's father uses a frying pan.
Well, as he did learn in season 1.
So, now what?
Yes. Yes, it is. Eh.
Our kids.
Yeah, you're doing your part, I guess.
Cassandra, the darkest of times are when a lawyer needs to blast their biggest smile.
What's a lawyer?
What you were going to
I
say?
don't
I
know.
was going to say Flashbear Badge, because that's what Phoenix keeps doing.
And they expect you to do it so much that in Dual Destinies, a certain character will go, you can't just show people random pieces of evidence just to see how they'll react.
Also, yeah, as a touch, because the Power Moonstone and the Sunflower are combined, now the spikes are colored PC out.
Here, have a green ball.
Look, they got a little freaky during sex, okay? Don't kink shame. Oh boy, here we go. Yep. Get ready, because this was just the first phase. The decay spell.
It gives everyone around them heart attacks. The world blows up. Yeah.
Well-
What's
It's a journal.
It survived everything.
Yeah, well, there's like I've asked you in our Astro Boy 2009 commentary. What do you get when you add a positive and a negative together?
whatever the hell you want, depending on the series.
Well, mathematically, that it would be 0.
It depends on the specific integers, but yeah, -1 plus
Well,
positive 1 equals 0.
obviously, I'm talking -1 and positive 1, obviously. Otherwise, I would have dictated the quantity.
Remember what Layton says in Lost Future about an incomplete description of a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there was a spark left.
Oh, wait, hold on. I've seen Onward. Magic in every fiber. Magnolia Gantron. No?
Okay, I'm trying to remember if this came out around the same time as that movie.
Well, that movie came out in 2020. This was
it was
2020 as well, I think?
This was, I think, the year
No.
before, 2019.
No, 2019 then. This was a year before Onward.
God,
it's a light bulb.
The equivalent of when Goku went Super Saiyan for that last fight in the Tournament of Power. Beautiful.
I don't think they've put the light bulb in right.
There's a rave going on in Rapunzel's hair. So, I would like to extend the question that has been asking previously. Now what, Zhan Tiri? Like, I'm sure you want to build a demonic kingdom or anything, but,
Like, not for nothing, Zhan Tiri, but you're...
Slow-mo? What was that slow-mo?
Also, I think I've come up with an answer for the whole what's the point of ruling a kingdom if there's no one in it thing. Maybe Zhan Tiri wants to live in a kingdom where she's the only one because, well, she just loves to hear the sound of her own voice.
Remember, she is so butthurt about Demanitus not wanting to rule along her side that she wants to destroy his kingdom.
I guess it's the whole, some people just want to watch the war burn.
And the thing is, it's been ages, and Demanitus is, by all intents and purposes, dead, basically, so...
Yeah, specifically 2,000 years.
Ha! A frying pan brought down the
fucking
Lord of
frying
everything.
Huh.
So all those attacks didn't work, but the frying pan.
The frying pan.
Well, obviously.
I just want to remind you guys that we did not get a frying pan keyblade, despite frying pans clearly being the ultimate power.
I
Also,
will not
like,
be
Zhan Tiri
defeated
didn't
by
see
a
that
kitchen
attack coming.
appliance.
No, she didn't.
And also, sometimes it's better to stick to classics.
Yeah.
No, bring out the frying pan.
Yeah, I mean, we've established it's the most powerful weapon in the series.
Well, when you put it like that, maybe, but nah, we'll let you off easy by just killing you.
There you go.
And just like the movie, she defeats the villain by cutting her hair. All that planning for less than 20 minutes of mayhem.
And
Was
yeah,
it worth it?
Zhan Tiri doesn't even get trapped, just gets nuked on the spot. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, she did. Which, yeah, this kind of implies that this is what would have happened to Rapunzel if she had
And
touched
now
the
the
Moonstone.
sunflower and the moonstone are combining to, I don't even know how to call it, like the philosopher's stone? I don't know.
That's the Chaos Emerald!
It's interesting you say that.
You mean the Chaos Emerald.
Just like Eugene was at the end of the movie. Wait.
Well, again, she's not in the.
Well,
Temple ever after, so-
technically he was. It's just that Rapunzel revived him with the power of the sunflower. And
Even though she's not in the short, I have to believe she'll live.
and then he just brings the villain back.
I joke, but yeah, her hair needed to be normal anyway for the final wedding short. Oh god, she's going Super Saiyan 2.
She still has
Yes,
a big
there's-
hole in her chest.
there's one. Yes, you're missing one verse, Raps. Bring back what once was mine. That's the final verse you're missing there. Finish the song. Finish it. Finish it.
There you go. Also, she remembers Sherry, that was the place where the moonstone was located. It's just a small cavity.
There
I know,
you
though,
go.
it does look like
So, also-
something was ripped.
Okay, no, to be fair, that was the decay incantation, but I do wonder if that was meaning that all the others were just dead before this. And yeah, look at that. Explosion from the sky, and we have a confirmation from that map that we were in the middle of France, apparently.
Yes!
Well, yeah, that is where.
Weird.
Well, that is. Well, that is where the original fairy tale comes from.
If
So
I
it
recall
makes
correctly,
sense.
there was always speculation that Corona was in France. I guess they just decided to confirm it.
Well, I think I mentioned that in season 1, but I was kind of hoping for a, not unique, basically, geography for, this kind of, world that they were having. Sure, maybe parallel some stuff from the real world, but it just feels so weird.
I get the feeling it's just. I get the feeling their logic was again. Oh, actually, no. Okay, never mind. I take that back. It's a German fairy tale. Never mind.
And then she gets arrested for treason.
Well, no, we have something different planned to still line in with the short.
Well, going off of the wedding short, you guys will restore the kingdom to exactly like it was before.
So yeah, it's not necessarily exile, but Cass will actually decide to travel the world to think about her life. How about Arundel?
Maybe for that Frozen series. Oh wait.
Honestly, considering Disney doesn't seem to have too much of a problem of the whole interconnected thing and, telling you need to watch the series in order to get this plot point, they could have easily have Cassandra showed up in Frozen 3.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, technically, yeah. Remember, technically, Raps and Eugene showed up in Frozen 1.
Okay, it's worth noting that the makers of the show did mention that they wanted to have a spin-off series about Cass, but I don't know if the idea was after this had been wrapped or if they had, an idea while this was in the making.
But hey, at least she has her stepdad to go with her.
And we end with a reprise of of Laugh after the first song of the first episodes, specifically the pilot movies, I should say.
With some flashback scenes, basically.
Mm-hmm. And hey, look at the bright side, Jova. At least thanks to this show, Alan finally got his Emmy.
Yes. Had he been doing much other shows before this one?
No, he mostly did theater. And
Okay, to his credit,
and says various Tonys over the years, obviously.
All right, to the credit of the Emmys, this is probably why he only just recently got an Emmy, seeing as how you have to do a show to get an Emmy.
Yeah.
And yes, I do love this ending. Max and Eugene being literal partners in charge.
And Varian becomes the royal engineer.
Suck it, Arundel!
And so the bath was born.
Again, with behold, science.
Yeah.
God.
And yes, Lance adopted them, of course.
In the house in the trees from Tarzan, apparently. Seriously, the design from the outside looked identical. Also, look at that.
Hey, wait a minute. Why is the redhead?
Two.
Also, why is the redhead villainess singing? Didn't she hate Rapunzel last we saw her?
She
wanted to join in the song. Exactly. She wanted to join in the song.
Oh, no, wait, there's a bit more.
And what else? It ends with us in our classic outfits in a rowboat. And yet, just enough is back to how it is for in time for the wedding short. Although, I joke, but I'll give him credit. In terms of series that have to take place in between movie events, this one actually capped it off relatively cleverly.
To think this relationship started by her hitting him with a frying pan.
And it was the frying pan that, in a way, saved the day against a giant eldritch abomination that wanted to destroy us all. Next, it's going to be the keyhole. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't.
I remember, Joe, by the time of 3, the whole keyhole thing stopped being relevant. Even though it should have, but...
How's that for a proposal?
It's cute.
3 times the charm, we've nearly died now.
Actually, yeah, now way to think about it, I know it took me this long to realize, but Raps not having a last name, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Rapunzel Corona.
And here's the pop song for the grand finale.
I don't
Bye.
even hate Natasha Bedingfield or anything, but it's not a very good song.
Yeah.
Alright.
I chalk it up to the typical Disney Channel affair. It's not the worst. It's just something you're like, oh yeah, 2010s Disney. Innocent time.
Alright, that leaves with the final thoughts for Season 3 and, well, this particular show. Leaves.
Overall, I thought it was a really good show with really nice looking 2D animation that looks like one of those picture books come to life. Really nice music, even if it is I'd say it was more computer generated from for the actual score itself, not the Alan Menken songs. And the Alan Menken songs themselves are good. They're not my favourites, but they're good. The only real issues I have with this show is that that episode focusing on the horses in Season 1, and the show's really curious habit of repeating things.
The characters overall?
Oh yeah, they were a lot of fun. I wouldn't say I have a favourite per se, as the show has quite a lot of good characters. I can't really pick one. It's like choosing the chocolate bar.
Mm-hmm. Better question. Favorite season?
I'd say 1, in spite of that episode. I think it was the most consistently good overall. Whereas these other 2 have had a couple of up and downs. I think that's about it. And hey, in terms of shows kind of getting screwed over with reduced episode counts that we know of, this isn't the worst I've seen of them. I think they handled the situation really well, especially considering that by the time this show ended, Disney Plus had launched.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably would have taken a bit of the wind out of sails near the end. Unless the show got simultaneously released on Disney Plus in the US, which I don't.
I'm pretty sure that a couple of the shows that were airing at the time, on Disney Channel, did have the transition, not sure in how much of a graceful, smoother way, but they sure did.
Back when there was a Disney Channel around here.
Well, in general, worldwide lives. The world is not just one country for now.
But yeah, that's about it. Overall, I really enjoyed this series. And are we doing Tangled Ever after this?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch that after knowing all of this that has gone on.
All right, then. Shiroi.
Well, I love the series as a whole, as you all probably already know. It was a really good last season. Some of the filler stuff doesn't really stick with me, even though I generally don't have a problem with filler. It just seemed like the pacing was a little weird. It didn't take away from my enjoyment of the overall show, though. Yeah, the inconsistencies with how different, I'll say antagonists are treated. Again, Varian and Cassandra being treated quite differently despite the differences in what they did. It was a nice ending, but yeah, it does like raise some eyebrows a little bit. But it's fine. It's whatever. Great songs for the finale as well. I just really enjoy the show, so I'm not really sure what to say about it.
Do you have a favorite character and favorite episode and/or favorite season?
Favorite character is Rapunzel. I know that's kind of an easy pick, but I don't care. Favorite episode, not really sure about that. Least favorite episode, can't really name any specifically because I think even the bad episodes are still passable. I think that's it, really. It's just a great show, and it was nice to actually have something like this.
Java.
All right, I'm going to start this off by saying Rapunzel's Tangled Adventures, or the Tangled series, whichever name you prefer, is a nice throwback to the days of the 90s Disney series, which were just amazing expansions to the worlds and lores of Disney movies. From the hilarious Timon and Pumbaa series, to the nice Little Mermaid series, to the famous Hercules and Aladdin series, this follows that, but takes it to a T as well, since, like Aladdin, and unlike most of the other series, this one is an interquel that, well, it's technically an interquel. Like, for all intents and purposes, it's a sequel to the movie. It's only an interquel because of Ever After, but it's one that manages to not only match the stakes of the original movie, but up them. With admittedly some warts and alls. Okay, let's pick one of the details that me and Tio did talk about here. I do like this series, but I do feel like at times it's kind of toned down to be a bit more kid-friendly with how violent it will get. Like, we went from like stabbings and absolute, death here and there to kind of more just people getting knocked around here or there, even with the ultimate flipping evil. And yeah, Cassandra has that bit where she technically dies, but it doesn't feel quite as graphic as Eugene's. That's a bit more of a nitpick, but again, it is a bit of a frustration at times.
I can still believe, though, Jova, that it was an executive mandate thing, because, again...
Oh, I definitely believe that, yeah.
Mostly because the showrunners made the point to bother to actually kill Zhan Tiri instead of exile her again, which, by all accounts, probably an executive would have told them to just do that, to not... Sure, it's still not graphical, but I get the idea the intent is there and they tried to do the best. It's kind of like, again, the thing that I mentioned about the Sonic and the Mario movies, the fact that there are genuine, passionate ideas of people, but some jackass in a tuxedo and smoking a cigar is telling them, no, this is what our focus group are telling us to do.
Yes.
I mean, you can't get more dead than being imploded, so...
I will just say this. Pretty much most, if not all, my criticisms with Season 3 are stuff that I can definitely chalk up to executive mandates, like, the season feeling rushed, some of the filler episodes not hitting as much, and my biggest issue, Cassandra's execution as a villain. Let me say this. I like the idea of Cassandra as a villain, and she could be very entertaining as a villain. The execution overall, though, feels like, again, this being Disney around this time, kind of took away the teeth, in a sense, where we can't have Cassandra be too evil on her own, so, here's Zhan Tiri to pretty much mug at the camera and constantly say, by the way, I'm the bad guy, but Cassandra doesn't know it, essentially. And that's apparently the reasoning why we can forgive Cassandra a lot easier, because, yeah, again, not gonna sugarcoat it, it feels a bit weird that she gets off with basically the equivalent of a slap on the wrist, whereas Arian got charged way heavily when he arguably did less than her. Now, with that stuff out of the way, though, back to the positives. The fight scenes were very well animated for the most part, essentially. The writing, for the most part, is on point, to the point where, again, even some of the weaker episodes, at least the character dialogue shines through, I feel like, Like, how do I put it like this? It's like Ace Attorney, where even at its weakest, you have some good character dialogue that can help you get through even the weaker aspects of it here and there. Again, while I do critique a bit about how tamer it feels, the ending at least does feel like a nice climax. And yes, like Tio mentioned, no redemption for Zhan Tiri. No, she gets smoked and then blasted out into orbit, literally like Perfect Cell at the end of a Cell arc. Holy cow. And I do like some of the parallels that this finale does make with how the movie ended, complete with Rapunzel's hair being cut to defeat the bad guy, reviving a friend using the power of the stones, which we now know was the case in the original movie too. So, yeah, no, good stuff. As for the series as a whole, it was pretty much a great addition to the lore of the movie, adding in deets and details about what Mother Gothel was up to, the people she ran with essentially, finding out that Cassandra was indeed Mother Gothel's daughter was a nice bit here. I do think that there were great ideas here, like Cassandra having to deal with the emotional fallout of the fact that her mother cared more about Rapunzel than her, even in her own twisted way. I do think it is quite flawed that she places the blame on Rapunzel, where Rapunzel and Eugene definitely arguably had it tougher and they didn't turn out that way. I get that not everyone's the same, but again, that aside, Season 3 feels like a good enough culmination here. In spite of the hardships they had to deal with, we got what I feel is overall a satisfying enough conclusion. Season 3 is definitely the weakest season for me. Season 1 is my favorite season since Season 2's good, but I feel like Season 1 feels like it has the most consistent bops for me overall. That's not to say that Season 2 is bad, it's just Season 1 feels like the perfect full package to me in regards to being a sequel to Tangled, taking place in the Kingdom of Corona and whatnot. Music was great. We get some great songs to close us out with this one here and there. Congrats, Alan Menken. You earned that Emmy. Favorite character? Part of me kind of does want to say Zhan Tiri in spite of my critiques of her, because holy cow, while they did flake with making Cassandra a villain, Zhan Tiri feels like she is actually a return to the 90s Disney villain formula of just being inherently evil and lavishing in it. That being said, she kinda sadly just had the one season and only part of it to truly show off her badness, so alas, I'd say my favorite character is probably Eugene here. I actually do love the fact that he becomes captain of the Royal Guard. He truly came full circle. I'm a bit annoyed he didn't get to participate more in the final fight, but that is far from the worst thing. It was a showcasing of how Cassandra and Rapunzel could come together, and I feel that it succeeded enough in that regard. So yes, Tangled the series, Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. Are there warts? Yes, but they are very far and few between. For the most part, this series feels like good old fresh Disney solid gold. If you're a Disney animation aficionado, watch it. If you have Disney Plus, especially give this a try. Check out the entirety of what Tangled has to offer. Pedro.
Yeah, I actually really love the show. While there's the occasional kink here and there, I think the show does a good job achieving what it's supposed to do. I blame a lot of the issues of season 3 on. Clearly, there's some because again, 17 episodes only, even though the other ones had at least 20, but like 21, 22, I forgot what the exact number. The point is, clearly less episodes, clearly and remain, even before season 3 came about, there was some leaked info that the higher ups at Disney weren't particularly all that keen on this show. Remember, what happened was Frozen became the phenomenon, and at that point, they didn't really want anything to do with Tangled anymore. So they allowed the showrunners to fulfill their contract, and that's it. And the potential Varian and Cassandra spin-offs were scrapped, of course. That being said, yeah, considering the struggles, the showrunners, I think, did the best of what they had. So I think season 3 still ends up being an overall really enjoyable season that does a good job concluding everything. There's some issues here and there with some of the execution of certain things, but again, like I said, I feel like there's probably a lot of behind the scenes trouble that we don't know the specifics about. But overall, yeah, the show was pretty great and did a great job of expanding upon the original film. And yeah, the great job. Like my favorite song. Again, this is some of Alan's best work, so it's just I have to really wonder about like I love so many of the songs in this like probably Ready as I'll Ever Be, because that song is just a banger. Although I also have a very keen liking to Waiting in the Wings, the song that won the Emmy, because that one is also a fantastic ballad that where Eden Espinosa completely kills it. So definitely. My favorite character overall, it's very difficult for me to pick one character because the show does such a fantastic job creating an entire cast of lovable characters. Like for example, like I feel like if I pick Rapunzel, I don't know, I think Rapunzel and Eugene are kind of on equal terms. So again, it's just like one of those things where it's just I can't just pick one character. I just love pretty much all the characters. Yeah, and again, the animation is fantastic, and they did a fantastic job replicating Claire Keane's art style, making the show look like a moving painting. Again, remember, this is what the original film was going for, but before Glenn Keane had to leave the project because of health concerns. So yeah, great work. It's a shame that we're probably not going to get another Disney TV series like this ever again, because it's abundantly clear that current Disney has no interest in these kinds of
projects.
But remember, like I've said, me and Joe, I actually showed Jova recently Raya the Last Dragon. Raya the Last Dragon is a movie that is just begging for an animated TV series. Just make it a Disney Plus TV series. It doesn't have to be Disney Animation Studios making it. I'm sure the same crew who made Impossible and the Big Hero 6 TV series are still around. I'm sure they all probably might have some interest in maybe making a Raya TV series, because that movie is just begging for one. It's frustrating, because there's a lot that can be done with recent Disney films to expand upon. Like you could even have an Encanto TV series that is more of a slice of life type of thing. Like there are plenty of possibilities you can take. But like I said, like if I had my pick, like if there's one Disney movie in recent years that definitely needs a TV series expansion, it's Raya and the Last Dragon. A movie that deserved better than what it got.
You also have to remember, Pedro, that the movie is not particularly appreciated in a lot of Asian countries due to the mess that was the casting process. So I get the idea Disney is afraid it will not have to reach a potential target audience by franchising it.
It's a shame. The basic point is the Tangled TV series does a great job at what it sets out to do, expanding upon the mythology, expanding upon the characters, expanding upon the world. The showrunner specified back when the first season started, they specified that they had a free season plan, and they already had the overall storyline planned out. And you can tell, because Cassandra's role as a villain is foreshadowed as far back as episode 4 of season 1. So no, while the execution is not perfect, you can tell that there was a lot of careful thought and planning into making this a concise story, and I appreciate the effort that was put in, because it allows you to go back and watch the earlier episodes and appreciate them even better, because now you have the power of hindsight with you. So yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this. I really wish we could get another. The Big Hero TV series, Big Hero 6 TV series, by the way, guys, is also really good. It's made by the same people who made Impossible. That's also a really great expansion TV series. So watch that one as well. That one is also really good. Unfortunately, like I said, with current Disney, and because of their double standards and stuff like that, like Joe said, we're probably not going to get another TV show expansion of a Disney movie, even though, again, it's such a no-brainer thing to do. More content for Disney Plus. More content for Disney Plus, if anything.
Not in the immediate future, at the very least. Also, there's a bigger picture that, we don't really have much of a judgment upon, that a lot of the content that gets released by Disney these days, while getting money, does not get a lot of resonance in terms of reception. So I get the idea. The executives are just basically in panic mode at this point and don't know what to put on the streaming sites, because they want to prioritize appeasing to people rather than also just their money.
All right, so that's it. Great show, and I always enjoy a hell out of myself watching it, and that's it. So look forward to rewatching the shorts. Go ahead, too.
Alright, no, like I said back in season 1, this is definitely one of my favorite animation projects of the last decade. I don't remember what place would I put it on my list. I even forgot actually where I put Gravity Falls and Avatar The Last Airbender. I still have Over the Garden Wall on number 1 though. That one still has to be dethroned to me for a 2010 animation project series. But this one is still relatively pretty high to me. Like I said, I only have really one episode that I consider something that I did not particularly like, and even then it's just a matter of, yeah, it happened, rather than, actively disliking or not even wanting to watch it, that being Flynn Foster. But again, that also is a testament of the quality of the series, as a whole. As a favorite episode, I'll either pick either the series beginning or this finale of season 3. The beginning mostly because it acts as a kind of closure on Varian's character that was left in season 1 with our redemption, complete with our redemption arc. Well, the finale for, the closure that it brings to everything that has happened. Again, it's not on the level of Avatar: The Last Airbender, unfortunately, but it tries to get there at the very least. You can definitely see the willing of the makers, which also reminds me of the thing that I foreshadowed quite for a while now, and I guess it's time for the payoff. My speculation on Cassandra's true origin, because the show bothers to not specifically mention who was the other biological parent of her other than Mother Gothel. While I know it might be a bit weird considering all the time shenanigans and trappings and everything, I think it might be Zhan Tiri herself. Hear me out. We establish that the exposure in the Lost World has made Zhan Tiri ascend to a higher place of existence, and, as confirmed by Zhan Tiri herself, all her different previous appearances, including the Warlock, which was a male form, are aspects that she can take. It's the thing that I was poorly trying to explain for Mobius in Time and Eternity. Old school deity logic where they can be polygenderous, basically. And I would also like to remind you, Samurai Jack Season 5 was not too far from the release of this one, and that one is at a plot point, Aku, the villain of the series, having a woman being impregnated in a non-sexual way in a similar manner of what I'm thinking about, just casually dropping some goop, which presto just put the target in a gestation state. And as we know also, Mother Gothel herself was part of the cultists of Zhan Tiri, so she also had knowledge about the flower. And I do think there are also thematic parallels. Not only Zhan Tiri acts kind of in a abusive parental figure way to Cassandra the same way Mother Gothel did to Rapunzel. Not only there will be also the idea of Zhan Tiri having an extra plan of having Cassandra as a failsafe in order to get the Moonstone and the Sunflower Drop as a long-term plan for the chess tile. That really would make sense and would be consistent with these writers. But also the symbology. If Rapunzel is the embodiment of the Sun Drop, as in the Messiah-like figure, it's only fitting that Cassandra will instead have to be the Antichrist. So, yeah, I argue it's a very compelling theory, honestly.
I'm hearing you. That's great. Great theory. My takeaway from this is that Mother Gothel is a monster fucker, and that's great.
Again, I still also say what I said towards the beginning. Someone tapped Mother Gothel, and it wasn't me. Dear God. My favorite character, we even have to say it, it's Varian. Of course it's Varian. Yeah. Again, I had very low expectation towards him when it came to this final season. Like I said, I knew that they were going to continue his story arc and they were setting up something like, say, him taking over Corona, because just leaving him in prison with the incompetency of the guards was just a recipe for disaster, Of course, we did not get the robotic dystopia that I was thinking of, but it was close enough. But after that, I was thinking, okay, it's gonna be starting there and everything, they just drop him and then continue on. But no, they bothered to redeem him having been an active part of the cast for the rest of the season, even to the point of making him having parallels towards Cassandra, even if their decisions were drastically different. That's actually kind of cool, I had to say. Even if I had low expectation for the character, they managed to, make up for that and even more. So I appreciate that. And honestly, I would also like to use this to mention, I don't particularly mind Cassandra's fate. Look, I get it that it looks like she's getting away and everything, but just see it as an exile. I think it works pretty well to me. That's for the rest of the season. It could have gone better with a few episodes or two to wrap up a couple of other characters, while some others just appear for their final appearance, like the Stabbing Tones or the Baron, and then they're basically quietly pulled away. I really wish we saw the Aunt character one last time.
I'm trying to remember if she was among the singing people, because I know that
it's a group.
It's
a group shot. I'll need to check it again. I noticed people like Hookfoot, and he's a mermaid girlfriend. So there is that.
One I took most notice with was Lady what's her name, the evil redhead from the pilot,
which was in jail. At the time. Maybe it was a case where she helped too off screen. And again, there's the fact that this series as a whole also helps out flashing Corona, while the original movie had nothing to go with, basically. So the idea of creating a bunch of supporting characters for a long-lasting series, that's actually kind of an accomplishment on its own. I also dare to say, I know it's a bit of a weird statement to put, but I kind of prefer this over the DuckTales reboot as a Disney series there is around this time. I know that it sounds a bit contentious, but you have to understand, because now the Italian friends of Deji also mentioned that us Disney comic fans tends to see the DuckTales series as, an variant attempt, but still a bit, low-key compared to what the comics did over the decades. So this in comparison actually feels a lot, more having a bit more of an edge. Also, I'm looking the group shot, Jova. Yes, the Aunt character is there, as are the minor villains. Just put them in a corner. But also the guy, the other rival king with his seal. My God.
Sure. While we're at it, why not include the Baron and Stallion?
I don't think they're actually. No, I don't seem to actually notice them. But again, they did try at the very least. Anyway, I think that's pretty much sums it up. Well, I guess the last thing that I can say, I'm sorry that I'm disrespectful towards Alan Menken and his work, but I don't care about the songs. I'm sure a lot of effort went into them, and I know that a lot of people would appreciate them, including the rest of you guys, but I don't care. But again, as I mentioned in the other two seasons, that's what the mute button is for, or the fast forward if I'm watching this on my own. Anyway, that's pretty much it, but that has to leave us with just one piece of the Tangled franchise. And yes, I reiterate that because by the time we're recording this, it seems that Disney is finally taking the hint and either slow down or cancel completely their live-action remake project. So that live-action remake of Tangled seems to be something that probably won't happen for a very, very long time. And, it's not like we're gonna lose sleep over it. So, tune in next time for the CGI short, Tangled Ever After. See ya.
See you then.
See ya.
Yeah.